Hello YouTube, it's Keith Kevin Ken. How you doing? How you doing? It's Kevin. It's time again for the knife of the day. This is where I'm looking at each knife in my collection, knife after knife, day after day. I have 3 Pelican cases of 1550s and I have one 1600. They're all packed in there. There's a lot of knives, hundreds. And we're going to go through them day by day, knife by knife. We're starting with discontinued Spyderco knives. Let me just tell you, first of all, I'm loving this series. That's why I'm doing it every day. I'm just loving it. I get to dig into my collection and bring out knives that I haven't brought out in a while. And I really love it. Also, I'm finding discontinued knives that I didn't know were discontinued. And that's because Spyderco looks at discontinued knives in several ways. And I know I say this almost every time, but I need to let you know that, and some people don't watch all of these. And if you haven't checked out the knife of the day, there's a playlist of every single one of them. We're already over 70 of them. So here's the deal. If it's a limited edition or a sprint run where they only make X amount of them, then once they're done, they're done. They're in the secondary market. Once they're sold, they're sold. The other way they become discontinued is it's too expensive for people. People aren't familiar with the style of knife, etc. It doesn't sell well. And Spyderco releases a lot of knives every single year. If you want to check out some knives and how many they give, I have a 2017 video and a 2016 video. You should check it out because you'll see all the knives that Spyderco releases. And it's fun too, a lot of knives. But today's knife of the day is the Spyderco Tough, Tuff. It's a knife from, frankly, one of my favorite knife designers for Spyderco, Ed Shimp. Ed Shimp has done so many creative designs. Some people don't like Shimp because he does a lot of creative knives. I love him. Does a lot of knives outside of the ethnic series and a lot of the ethnic series knives. He is a great designer. So let's talk about the Spyderco Tough. Now, one reason it probably didn't sell when it was released is because it was an expensive knife. I think Spyderco, the retail value that Spyderco gave it was over $400, and for a production knife, that's a lot. I mean, you're in you're in the Chris Reeve place. So I think that's probably it. It's also a big knife, big and thick knife. And if you like big knives, then frankly, I love this knife. And so that might be a reason too. So let's talk about it. First, let me give you my impressions. This was one of my earlier knives in my collection. I was just starting to be okay with spending over $100. My first knife I spent $100 on was the Techno, and it was close to 100. And then I really got into collecting, so I was ready to spend real money on a knife. And I bought the Tough, and the Tough made me cry. I didn't know much about knives. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. It made me cry with frustration. It was so stiff. I think the first, 20 times I opened it, I had to use a butter knife to pry open the lock. You know, it would be here and I'd need to use a butter knife. Do you see where it is now? And remember, I have a lot of knives. No one knife gets used over and over and over again. So it's not out of a big amount of use, but look how smooth it has been. I did nothing to this knife. I am not a take a knife apart kind of guy. I'm not. So this is not one of my smoothest knives. Especially with a big knife like that, you would expect it to fall. But man, that lock took a while. It really took a while to ease up, and now it's beautiful. So now Now that I told you how men can cry over things like a knife, over frustration, because I just wanted to, I don't know, pound Spyderco, I guess. But now it's a wonderful knife. Now, I'm usually a small knife guy, but let's talk about this big beast of a knife. Okay, let's start with the handle. I think the handle is a masterpiece. The front is G10 with stainless steel liners on this half. The pivot is a oversized pivot. So Spyderco went out to do a great pivot on this, a great looking pivot. If you look at Spyderco's, they have nice pivots, but they don't spend a lot of time on the pivots, right? Look, the first was the paramilitary, this the military. But they really did on this one. And that's why the price is so expensive. You know, they retool from doing their Enduras and Delicas and paramilitaries to do this knife. So they're trying to recover their costs. So G10 with a stainless steel liner on one end, a back spacer, G10 back spacer, and then full tie on the back end with the Chris Reeve integral frame lock. Okay, just wonderful materials. These little pivot divots or whatever on both the G10 and the tie is good. It's not grippy. The G10 isn't grippy, but it's enough. And how this thing is designed with this huge 50-54 choil. I mean, huge choil. You can grip it any place. I love how it gets fatter. There's places to put your hand. So it's a lot of places where you can hold this. You can come up on it. It's just a really nice knife. The other thing they did on the lock for this big knife is they put stainless steel insert on the frame lock. So this will not wear out on you. Okay? So as you flip this big blade up, it's hitting steel against steel, which is good. It lasts a lot longer. Steel against titanium. That's why you see a lot of these inserts on the lock. Steel against titanium, steel wins over time, and titanium wears down and starts going across. Man, this is a well-built knife. Well-built knife. Remember I said it was expensive? After my crying fits of frustration and it started easing up, man, it was so worth the money. The reason I had the fits was I was like, man, this is one of the best built. I hadn't gotten into my Chris Reeve phase yet. This is one of the best built knives I have, and I'm having trouble opening it. This is a wonderful knife. It's a beast of a knife. Again, it's discontinued, but I see them on the secondary market often. Okay, that's the handle, and it's a beast. Oh, let's talk about the clip. The clip is a 4-way clip. Left, right, up, down. It covers, when it's tip up, it covers the big lanyard hole that it has. Okay? When it's tip up, it covers this beautiful pivot. Okay? So they went out of their way to have a 4-way clip as well, and that's why you have this big kind of contraption on the clip. It's so they can cover all of these things. The blade. First of all, it's a shim blade, and most of Shim's blades for Spyderco have this kind of lineup because he likes his blades to line up better with the forearm for cutting. He likes the forearm and the wrist to do the work, so he does like his blades on a tilt. Look at this stock. It's 3V steel. Now, I know you steel junkies out there can help us in the comments to give more explanation. I believe that Eric Glesser, the son of Sal Glesser, the founder, I believe he said that 3V was kind of like D2. This is CPM. It's a crucible steel. You guys help me out with that. put a groove in this big blade to try to take off some of the weight. Again, 3V steel. It's a beast of a knife. 3.7 inches total. Now they're counting from the tip of the handle to the tip of the blade. The cutting edge, listen to this, is only 3 inches because of all of this they have here, right? So you have 3 inches. Such a big blade. It's a real nice blade. I have to tell you, I love it. When it's open, it's 8.9 inches overall. Give you a feel for it at the end. I'll put it against the paramilitary and military so you can get a size comparison. Listen to this, 6.3 ounces. This is the one I take down to the mailroom for my mailroom guys on the weekends. When I'm picking up my big box, they hold it hostage and I bring them a big knife, a fixed blade, or one of my big folders. They love this thing, and so do I. I don't carry it that much in my daily carry because it's so big. 6.3 ounces. And look at this. The thing that made me a crybaby makes me smile. And hey, they were manly tears. You guys know that frustration tear when you're so angry and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, what it is you work it out, and now you have a perfectly smooth knife. Great detent. This, my friends, is the Spyderco knife of the day. It's the knife of the day. We happen to be doing Spyderco Discontinued knives. If you're enjoying the knife of the day every single day, thumb it up. Give me some likes. That's like an applause. That's like telling me, Kevin, keep going. Because, you know, every single morning right before work, that really keeps me going. Share. Let people know that we're out there. Subscribe. There's still 60% of you guys watching these videos but not subscribing. Hit it. It's free to you, but it really helps me out. Turn on your notifications as I get new knives. I love to do first impressions. There's a playlist for first impressions, knives of the day, and of course every day we do a pocket dump deconstruction as well. Oh man, there's about 400 videos on that too. We've been doing it for over a year. This, my friend, is the knife of the day, the Spyderco Tough. I hope you're being tough today. It's Friday as I record this for me. I don't know what day it is for you. But whatever day it is, be tough. Have a great day. Have a perfect one. Keep your pockets full. Goodbye.